Dibs! We all wait to see that thing go from off
I
air
know.
to live.
We're like, ting!
You know what they need? They need like one of those light trees, like they have it like a drag race, where it's like it counts down like the lights until we get, so we know exactly when it's gonna come on, so it's not a surprise.
And so we can get
we just figured out how to use our microphones, so I think we're a ways off.
No, I'm probably muted right now.
I'd like to bring up a salient point that I think we should discuss briefly.
An alien point. Go ahead.
How fucking dope is this T-shirt?
Oh my God! Aesop's. Is that Painters?
Painters Restaurant in Wellfleet. Somewhat short-lived but awesome Wellfleet restaurant.
And friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Painters is not really friend of the pod, right?
No.
Guys, I want to give a shout out to a new listener. To be frank, it makes me a little bit nervous because I've known her since she was a very tiny baby, but she's a sort of a grown woman now, so we'll let her make her own decisions. We'd like to welcome Elena Conti to the listener pool. Her cousin Elena Conti.
I was gonna say, isn't that family?
Yeah, that's family.
Elena, leave us an iTunes review, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Elena, you're gonna have a hard time beating our one of our favorite iTunes reviews, which just got surfaced last week.
Yeah, but apparently it's been there for months. I didn't realize that.
There's no date on it.
No. Oh, really?
I'm checking the reviews, and I don't see any new ones. So, Savage, if it is indeed Savage, and we
could be anyone. Could be anyone.
This awesome review. Actually, have we discussed this? We haven't discussed this on the air. Let me read this iTunes review for all the listeners back.
Wait, to be objective, what Oak is about to read could literally be anyone. It could be Ruth.
It could be anyone.
Right.
It could be Jackie, Harry.
Yeah.
It could be several people who listen to this podcast.
George Stephanopoulos. Could be George Stephanopoulos.
So the handle of this reviewer is Mediocre Team.
Which is Greek.
It could be any member of any team. It could be mediocre.
Mediocre Team.
It's a 5-star review entitled, I don't know how to log into Twitter. And the review is as follows. These are my favorite people in the universe. If you listen to this podcast, they will be your favorite people too, but you can't have them. They're mine. All caps. You hear that, Eric Choi? Liz, do you record in a cave? Bizzle, where's my belly? Oh, nice fleece.
That is 1,000% Stephanopoulos.
I have my fleece. I'm not wearing it because I drank a lot of coffee and now I'm over hot.
And here's the belly. Here's my belly.
And we all know I record from a cave because that's where terrorists record from.
There it is. Damn you, Stephanopoulos, blowing up our spots on iTunes.
I know. Classic Stephanopoulos. Ever since he left his career in politics to become a political commentator, he's all up on iTunes.
Hey, yeah, can we actually include Stephanopoulos in our iPod name and the podcast name today so we can get some clout?
Yeah.
Like, oh, damn, Stephanopoulos is on that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we need to find something, figure out some way to incorporate Stephanopoulos into a line from a Wu-Tang song. And
the description should be new pod now with 100% more George Stephanopoulos.
What about Stephanopoulos?
Well, that's actually factually correct.
Right. No, yeah, because there's never been any more.
0 is 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the political pundits are going to listen to our podcast the same way you used to, like, watch a dirty movie for, like, just one flash of a nipple. For the whole thing to see where George is mentioned.
That would be a really shitty, dirty movie if there was only one flash of a nipple.
Sometimes that happened.
So there's a website that, like, catalogs those nipple flashes. Like, all the movies where the kids will just sit and watch the whole movie for one flash of a nipple, there's, like, a website that'll, like, tell you what the, like, time code is for that.
Isn't that from the movie Knocked Up?
Yeah.
That's a great
They had a website where they documented wherever a celebrity was naked in a movie.
I think that's a real thing, though.
Yeah.
But I can't remember.
So that reminds me of the segue that I was planning. Of when we were younger and we would listen to the radio and wait for that, like, song that we wanted. And you'd wait hours and you'd wait there to hit record, and there would always be, like, a DJ intro or outro which would just, like, fuck up part of the song. But I fell into a K-hole on Spotify the other day, and I went into the 90s playlist, and I made a playlist of like fucking 140 songs. Let me just read off some names that I have here, just to show you guys how fucked up I am in the head. Malibu by Hole.
I love that song.
End of the Road by Boyz II Men.
I love that song.
Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Oak loves that song.
There you do.
Sunny Came Home by Sean Colvin. Who
I love that
doesn't
song.
That song is so good.
So good.
Let's see, The Unforgiven by Metallica. Genie in a Bottle, which is, let's be honest, I put some of this manly music on here just to disguise the fact that I have Genie in a Bottle on loop.
Don't worry. The Black Album is Girl Metallica.
Yeah, that's totally mainstream girly Metallica.
Yeah. So that was my segue, guys.
Good
And
segue. Oak and I used to record a lot of songs off the radio, and for some reason, so we had this like silver boombox. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe my memory is flawed here, but we were always recording in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is that true? Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's accurate because one, the toilet was right there, and two, that was there were two space heaters available to sit in front of, which is our favorite thing to do is sit in front of the space heater. And the other
favorite
one
thing to
was
do to stay alive and not freeze to death. Yeah.
But the bathroom space heater was more enclosed because the bathroom was very small, so you can.
Yeah.
See
You say you were jailed in that bathroom.
We were in jailed because yes. Anyway, but the biggest problem with recording the tapes was that we never had the like nice like 75, 90 or 120 minute tapes. We had like the 45 or 60 like black like El Cheapo ones
From the Christmas tree shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or from Stop and Shop.
Yeah, or
Like
from
right next to the Post-it notes, there were like 45-minute like blank tapes.
Totally.
We'd get, like 2 at a time. So like you'd always run out of tape in the middle of the song that you'd waited for like 6 hours to come
Yeah.
on.
It'd be like, I'm finally gonna record "Don't Walk Away, Boy."
Yeah,
we'd only
and then
get,
you
like,
had to flip the tape over.
Yeah, it sucked.
So it was like mostly DJ, but half of it was lost to the fumbling, flipping the tape over. And
Right.
it didn't matter because your shitty Walkman from 5 years ago would eat the tape immediately anyway. So
Right. But
I'm
I
adding
still-
I'm adding Don't Walk Away Boy to my list. Thanks.
That's my favorite
Thanks for the
song.
reminder.
I just really need to record the CNC Music Factory
oh
song.
my God,
I'm trying
CNC
to poop
Music
in
Factory
here.
was my fucking jam, dude. What the hell was the name of that song? Their one popular song.
Groove is in the Heart.
Group. No, that was Delight. This is a great song.
What?
Hi, we're not in right now, but if you leave your name and number, we'll get
This
back
is production
to you.
quality.
That's like lower quality than our podcast.
Yeah, which is impossible.
But guys, when you think about it, you were actually starting your podcast back in the day. In the bathroom.
Yeah,
Not
that's
much
true.
has changed, except
We were
maybe
starting
more
our
expensive equipment.
You know what else Oak did this one time? This is all his idea. We had a fucking photo shoot to document Oak's skateboard thrashing skills.
Oh, it was so fraudulent though.
It was so, in the driveway of our house
Yeah.
had no pavement whatsoever. It was all sand.
It was sand.
So he was like, "You got to get the picture from below." So it was just like him like balancing on a skateboard.
You gotta
and
get the stickers in.
yeah, get the stickers in. Get the pump house stickers in.
Right. Oh,
Oh, we
man,
were
that was
so
so sweet. I didn't get this Bones Brigade sticker mailed to me
Right.
that I ordered from Thrasher magazine. You have to get it in the thing.
Ugh.
Yep.
I'm glad we
No,
had that
it's very
discussion.
Things to do when you live in the woods.
Yeah, it's really difficult. You're either like breaking each other's bones or having fraudulent skateboarding photo shoots.
You know, when you guys talk about your childhood, though, it sounds like it was so recent. Like, I feel like that skateboarding thing didn't happen when you were little. It definitely happened when you guys were in Wellfleet.
I mean, I was like 20.
Right, yeah. Like, okay, graduated from college, but
Like, the skateboard like photo shoot was for my resume.
yeah.
I was applying to be a professional skateboarder. I'm not sure
Right.
what I was gonna do on my first day at work, but I figured I'd just like make that up as I went along.
Fake it till you make it. It's what they say, right?
Yep.
That's what they say.
I could definitely fake it.
Mm-hmm. But never make it into a
So-
Ollie.
Bizzle, where's our fucking studio, dude? I'm in prison. Here,
Right.
as you can see.
Head of studio.
Guys, I'm going through so much shit with work right now. Do you guys want to hear some fucking
I thought you were
drama?
about to say I have to go for work, and I was gonna call you a huge anus.
Yeah, totally.
I should. You guys saw me checking my email on video, and it's an emergency, but I'm not going to look at it until 9 o'clock.
What could be so emergent? You're the head of studios.
I know. Well, head of studios. You have to put more.
You're
Like
head
a
of video
turtle head emergency, or like
Yeah.
No, remember that though?
that was.
Oh,
I
what a
think
cool-
when we do our like year in review, that'll definitely just be on like one of the highlights is the absence of you because you're pooping during the
Pooping.
podcast.
I was gone for like a solid 16 minutes, and I think our podcast was like 28 minutes that day.
That was good fun.
No, get this. So one of my coworkers started interviewing at my so my former coworker started interviewing at this company, and all of a sudden got a job offering, and I was like, look, I want nothing to do with it because I had signed a non-compete. So you got a job offer, and he's going to come and work here, which, to be honest with you, I could give a shit about because it's not going to impact my day-to-day, and it's not like he would be joining my team. So I got one of those big-ass, scary letters from a law firm yesterday.
Oh, I
A
hate that.
big certified envelope being like, we'll remind you of the document you signed in March of 2013 saying you wouldn't compete and blah, 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 blah. And then they name him by name. And I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, can I sue them? You guys are my lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reply to their letter with handwritten stationery from Hall and Hall.
Oh, Esquire.
They name him by name, and they're like, you pulled him over to your company and all this shit. And I'm like, that's got to be some kind of slander because there's no proof that I did it because I absolutely didn't do it. So I walked home last night. I walked into my apartment last night and saw that envelope waiting for me to kind of like set me into a tizzy. So I didn't really sleep last night. And then this morning, my boss wakes up at like 3 in the morning. I don't think he ever sleeps. And I woke up to like 12 emails, which all seem urgent. But I was like, I'm going to go pod.
So
Yeah,
non-compete signed by another employee that you hired?
No, so when I joined my last company, I signed paperwork saying that I wouldn't take any proprietary information, I wouldn't go work at a competitor, and I wouldn't take employees with me if I left. So they're stating because I started at this company and now someone's starting 2 months later that I obviously had something to do with it. Look, don't get me wrong, it doesn't pass the smell test. It looks shady.
I don't think non-competes are all that enforceable. I think they can, if they really want to waste money, they can.
So I think that's what's fucking me because when I had my exit interview, I didn't like the head of HR at my last company. She was kind of shitty. And she basically was like, I'll remind you that da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, those aren't enforceable in New York. I said, but don't worry about it because I don't want to take anyone from here. I wish I hadn't said that because I think that's what implicates me as well. Look, they wasted their money on the legal team. Like I did not need to fucking get that piece of paper. They probably spent hundreds of dollars on persons for like a half hour.
So, according to employment lawyers in ottingerlaw.com, New York disfavors these agreements because they restrain trade and stifle innovation, but New York courts will enforce a non-compete agreement that is reasonable and necessary to protect the legitimate interests of the employer. That doesn't sound like the case here. In order to be enforceable, the non-compete agreement must be limited in scope and duration. For example, the clause that seeks to prevent the salesperson from doing any kind of sales work for a company nationwide for an unspecified amount of time will not be enforced as too broad. However, the agreement might be enforced if it were limited to a specific industry, geographic market, in term of 6 months.
But it doesn't say anything about bringing employees.
I mean, again, you could put whatever you want in a contract, but whether or not you can enforce it in court is another matter. And, it doesn't seem like this is a lock to get enforced, so if it were me, I wouldn't sue on it because it's going to be fucking expensive.
Right.
I don't know. And, what are they going to get from you, Byram? I mean, I know you, are rolling in that mad paper, but,
Sneakers.
They're
are they
gonna
going to
take
sue you
all
for
my-
$1 million? You got $1 million?
Taylors.
They're
Right.
gonna take my ovaries. They're gonna
Yeah.
milk me. No, the
Even
thing
those
is,
are a bit tainted.
look, exactly. If they want babies with feline leukemia, then they can take my ovaries.
I mean, I know that's what people are after these days, but
If they want a pair of milk toast ovaries.
literally milk toast.
No, yeah, with a Q.
They did it to scare me, which is kind of shitty because I left there on great terms and I'm like friends with everyone. I'm friends with the CEO. So it was kind of shitty that they don't believe me, that I had nothing to do with it. Honestly, I had no reason to bring this person over. I don't think he's a hard worker. I don't think that he wouldn't benefit my team in any way. There's no referral bonus. There's no reason for me to bring him over.
good.
So it was kind of shitty because anytime I get any kind of official mail, I automatically panic. I think I just expect the fucking CIA to be at my door and be like, "You're coming with us."
Well, if they threaten to go through your emails or like tap all of your internet communications, could you just send them the link to this podcast?
Yes.
And be like,
please.
listen, if there's anything that you need to observe of mine, it's this opus. This is
Yeah,
the
and also if you are part of a well-publicized trial and our podcast is mentioned repeatedly in the courtroom, I mean, that's new listeners.
That's new listeners. I mean, all attention's good attention.
We could get an iTunes review out of it.
I could get on a new list. I could get
I
on a
was
new watch list.
Or in the Bizzle trial.
Yeah.
Also, we would get a court stenographer to finally catalog our podcast.
Yeah.
So we would finally know like what the best bits were.
That would be awesome. Imagine the legal intern who would have to like go through all the podcasts for some sort of clue that you had tried to pull this guy
What
over.
a fucking horrible job.
That would be so fun. Jen Savage would be like, no, you can't.
I just have to respond to one email. That's like the equivalent of taking a shit in this podcast. I'm sorry.
Totally taking a shit. So while Byram's taking a shit on the podcast, Bean, can you tell us about how punk rock comedy night went?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I had a really good punk rock comedy. I had a comedy night on Saturday night, and it was at it was totally punk rock. It was at like a silk screening studio that was probably like 100 feet square. And before we got on stage, there were these like old dudes playing like acoustic guitars and like singing into microphones and like trying to get as much reverb as possible. And I found out later on that one of the guys had been scheduled. He like had terminal cancer and was supposed to die like 18 months ago. Still alive, still.
Wow.
And yeah, it was pretty. I was really psyched for him. But yeah, and then we all performed comedy, and it was really good. And we were supposed to do like some of our darker material, and I just did my normal material, and apparently I was among some of the darkest comedians of the night.
Give us
They
a
were
hit.
like, we said dark, but
Yeah, that bitch is
that shit's
crazy.
fucked up. I mean, I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Yeah. I just talked about my second vagina, this one, and I talked about various HPV jokes, and then I talked about how I believe that mental illness is very much contagious. But
like it.
you'll have to come to one of my comedy shows to understand. Because, of course, I didn't record it because I'm a fucking douchebag.
Dude, you got to get some more tape. You got to have
I
tape
know.
on your
know.
YouTube channel.
I know. I gotta do that. It's like I'm still at the point where I feel like it's not good enough yet. Like I don't want any of this recorded yet but like I know I'm always gonna feel that way. At some
You're
point,
always
at
gonna
some
feel
point
that
I just
way.
have to like start committing to it and like accepting the like it's like not as good as it's gonna be, but it's like good enough for like other people to like.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this show is that because they made me go bullet, which means you go first. And that's usually what they do to like the newer comics. So I basically like opened up for all the other comics, and if you do a good job at that, it kind of sets the stage for the rest of the comedians to like do a good job. And the host contacted me afterwards and said that I did a good job as the bullet. So
That's awesome.
that's cool. And I think I think that's a cool talent to have because it means that like potentially I could be like an opener for comedians, like real comedians. So
I think it's also cool to have bullet on your resume.
I know, right?
Definitely on some kind of terrorist
Not just
list now.
bullet points, but bullet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There
And the
was
host
a-
was good. He did a really great job of like he just did a couple minutes in between everyone and did a really good job about like psyching the crowd up and like there's like a certain like the audience sort of needs to be primed to laugh because people don't necessarily know what they're supposed to be doing, especially in a venue like this. It's like they're just like standing around like t-shirt shop. They like didn't really know what was going on. And so the host did a good job of like setting the stage of like, this is comedy, you're be here to laugh. And so we were all kind of like well prepared. So it was good. It was good. It was a good show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, people were at a comedy show not laughing?
Yeah, I mean, I think people just like they're like people need to kind of like be guided in what direction they're supposed to be going in. People are like generally confused all the time.
Well, you know, it's funny. There was I think Adam Carolla did a bit on this once about how like when you get asked to do comedy at like different events, like a lot of times you get stuck in like a context that's like not you're not set up to do any comedy. Like you'll be at a dinner honoring like wounded veterans, and you're going between like a widow who like lost her husband and a guy who was like paralyzed in a fucking IED, and then they're like, yeah, just do like 5-10 minutes of comedy, and
what? How am I supposed to do that? Nobody wants to laugh.
Yeah, nobody has any idea. Nobody's like ready for jokes. Like they just don't expect you to be telling jokes, and so they're kind of like, what?
It's like I went to my friend's daughter's and son's birthday party on Sunday, and people are like, what have you been doing with your life? I'm like, oh, I've been doing comedy. And when people are like, oh, tell me some jokes. It's like,
do some comedy right now.
Yeah, exactly. Do some comedy right now. It's like, but that's not really how it all works. There's like a whole like setup that needs to happen. You need to be so.
Yeah. It's like I've been doing jujitsu. Oh yeah, do some jujitsu right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see it right now. Kick me in the face.
I mean, I'm wearing khakis. It's fine. Just do a little. It's cool.
Put your crotch.
I'm wearing khakis.
I'm wearing chinos. I'm wearing slacks.
Right.
I hate those questions though. Like, when my brother actually came over on Sunday or on Saturday, one of those days, and I had just gotten a couple of work emails, and I was like, I'm not going to think about this. And then he goes, so how's work? And I was like, I fucking hate you. I hate when people ask those questions. What have you been up to? How's life? What's new? I always get those like loaded like G chats from people that I never talk to. They'll just like pop up. Hey, what's up? What's new? Like, what the fuck else is new? What do you want me to tell you?
So many things are new. Let's talk about money.
Like, I can only really discuss what's been going on in the last like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like what's on my mind. So like, what's going on with you? Well, I sent a bunch of emails, and I'm really worried about whether the Patriots are going to sign Darrelle Revis. What's going on with you?
Right. I've made a rule to stop asking people when I'm meeting new people. I made a rule to like not ask them what they do for a living because I hate it so much when people ask me that. But it now just means that I will meet someone and just like stare at them like awkwardly, waiting for like some topic of conversation to come up because there's like it's really hard to like it's like, oh, how about them Yankees? Like, do you believe in angels? Like, I don't, like, how do you start a conversation with someone? I really have absolutely no idea.
So what do you do?
Right. Yeah, so what do you do?
I metabolize
I breathe.
Animal proteins and matter and repeatedly defecate.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, there are very few people, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer, I won't understand what you do.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand
computer
what
guy.
I do.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I do computer stuff.
Yeah, Oak, I still don't know what the company that you work at is called.
There you go.
Yeah.
You don't have to know. It's not important.
I know. It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I work at different. Like, I'm a consultant, and I work for different clients, and like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
The thing about being
That's another one.
The thing about being Albanian, yeah, that's it.
I'm a consultant who works remotely. Does that mean unemployed?
Mm-hmm.
Albanian people always want to know like what you do because they want to figure out how much money you make. So you'll meet like your parents' friends or someone, and they'll be like, they'll ask you in Albanian, which I understand way better than I speak. So I always say computers because it's just like the easiest way to describe what I do. And then they're like, oh, like they get impressed, and then they automatically ask if you can do something for someone they know. They're like, oh,
yeah, totally.
Your resume, can you do this for them? I'm like, someone actually did that at the last job that I was in. I was hosting like the big annual summit, and there was a woman who, there are not a lot of Albanians, and there's a growing like professional and entrepreneurs network in the Albanian community in New York, but like anywhere I've worked, if I've met another Albanian, they're usually like in the facilities department, like they're usually working in the building. So I'm hosting this summit, and this woman comes up to me, and she's like this giant marketing executive for Pfizer. And she's like, it's so great to see another Albanian. And I was like, I don't even know what I do. Like, I'm literally just here doing stand-up, but I do have a function at this company. But you're the fucking global marketing executive, you know? So we all know that I left that job, and one of my former colleagues forwarded an email because she gets my emails forwarded to her. This woman had told one of her friends who moved here from Albania that I can help her find a job.
Oh,
so woman,
no.
Yeah, so I was like, why don't you help her find a job? You're the one.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fucking play hot potato with this. Like, you have a better job.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Look on Craigslist and Monster and like forward you jobs?
Right. That's
the
all.
thing.
The only time I've ever helped anybody find a job, that's all I've done. Just been like, oh, I just like did a Boolean search for like jobs in your area, and here's the ones that popped up. Peace.
Look, we all know I'm one of the laziest people, and even when when I was first looking for a job, I would ask everyone, like, hey, you know, can you find me a job? People are like, well, what do you want to do? Can you like at least look at my company website, find something that interests you? And I'm like, nah, just like here's my resume. You guys figure it out for me.
Yeah.
Somebody will see this
I
resume.
can do whatever. I'll just do whatever.
Somebody will see this resume that says that I was the associate vice president of the South Asian Student Association at my college, and they'd be like, let's
It'll
give
be
this
the
guy a
right
fucking
fit.
great job. Yeah.
Right. We'll make him the director of kimchi.
Oh, kimchi burps.
Oh, I don't understand how you're so fermenty.
No matter what I would eat, no matter what, even if I just ate fucking Ritz crackers, I would burp it.
There was like this amazing fermentation process that was going on inside you at all times. I think that was one of the DNA fire and drive, the kimchi in your belly.
I had like a kombucha mother.
Yeah, you did in your belly.
Yeah.
Kombucha mother.
How do you spell Stephanopoulos? I'm trying to tweet that.
It's like
S-
Susan with a PH.
Yeah, Stephanopoulos. Ah!
Man.
Success.
What are you, an Indian boy? The way you
Yes.
nail that?
I've always been amazing at spelling. It's a family trait that Oak did not acquire, apparently.
Oh,
My
that's
mom and
cool.
I are fucking we destroy spelling bees. We always have, and we always
Guys,
will.
the lights just went off in my office.
I saw that.
So it's like super dark in here.
I used to have an office where the lights were on a motion sensor, and it always made me feel very like I was invisible when the lights would go off. when I
Right.
was
Nobody
there.
cares about you. We're
Nobody
turning the
cares
lights
about
off.
you. Yeah, not even these motion sensor lights. I have another question. Do you guys struggle with motion sensor faucets?
Yeah, everyone does.
Oh
They're
my
a fucking
God.
trick. They're a trick.
What the
Because
fuck?
They don't come on until you move your hand out from under them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
There's just like there's a tiny little like closed circuit camera of people just watching you be a fucking asshole with your
That's definitely true.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
The thing that bothers me about my bathroom here is that the flushometer is motion censored, so that stresses me out because I will
What?
tell you when I'm done. I don't need you deciding
Yeah.
when that is enough.
Yeah, sometimes I
although-
just get up off the seat because I need to reposition. I'm not done.
I don't mind the auto flush.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like the breeze that it creates and like the little flecks of water that like hop up. I find it refreshing.
Sounds really refreshing.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
In my bathroom, if I'm in my bathroom, I don't mind it. When I'm in a public restroom, I hate the splash. But it'll fucking flush on you, and then you go over to the sink, and the sink has the automatic water and soap, whatever, so that barely works. Then you have the automatic hand dryer, which again will start blowing once you pull your hands out. So all this is geared to keeping your hands clean, and then you just twist that fucking doorknob to get out of the bathroom, which is like covered with shit and piss.
Right.
Like,
Or are you
every-
one of those assholes who walks around like a surgeon with their hands up like this and then just like opens the door with
So
their shoulder?
you know they are. There's a big debate about the legalization of marijuana. My question is, now that we know what's possible in the realm of hand dryers,
Oh god.
why are those
Oh god.
shitty little like dingus hand dryers from the 80s still legal?
I don't know.
You know what I'm
In a
saying?
world,
The ones that just
yeah.
that like cough on your hand.
It's like they spit on your hand.
Yes.
It's like an old person trying to give you a kiss on your hand.
Right. They're like
That's
just
what those hand dryers
puffing
are.
on your hand. And like, we all know that like of one of those like super power Vornados or one of those
Yeah.
Dyson like hand
Yeah, you
slicers.
put the air hand blades, and they actually feel like they're sucking your hands off, and it's amazing.
You can't go back from that to
No.
those fucking little dingus fucking blowers.
No,
They're
I
not
also feel
blowers.
like-
Blower is too strong a word. They're puffers.
right? They're like, they're cat farters.
Why are we allowed this?
I don't know. We should always ask for more.
Are
should
we
always-
not a civilized people?
No, we are not. Also, there should always be the option of both paper towel and hand dryer in every single
Always.
bathroom, because there's sometimes a mess too big for a fucking hand dryer, and I won't explain what that means, but sometimes shit happens. There should always be an option for both, and sometimes you just need to be able to wipe something off with your hands and throw that away.
And there's parts of your body you cannot stick in the hand dryer.
Nope. Really, no
Just
matter
put that
how
out
much you
there.
diet, sometimes there's parts of you cannot fit in the hand dryer. I need.
And sometimes I like to just wipe my ass at the bathroom. I don't want to. I can't be bothered if someone's in the stall. What am I
It's
going
a
to do?
free country.
Yeah.
It's a
I
free
need
country.
To wipe. I
Right.
need to wipe and then shove it down into the trash receptacle.
And also, on the same like sort of thread of thought as not providing paper towels, stop pretending you give a fuck about the environment, and that's
Right.
why you're not giving paper towels. It's because you're fucking cheap. It's
Yeah.
like when you go into a hotel room and there's that sign that says like, you know, please hang your towels back up to protect the pandas in the rainforest.
Oh, hell.
Fuck you. It's because
Right.
you don't want to do laundry. Let's all just fucking agree on that. It's not a crime. It's not a crime for you not to want to do any more laundry than you have to. Why do we have to couch it in terms of fucking saving manatees? You
Right.
assholes.
You know what?
Like an idiot.
You know what bothers me? When
Drops the mic.
Yeah. When they have
Boom.
those,
Rant.
drop the mic, Fatima. Whatever the lady's name in that
If I
clean
weren't
room.
attached to this thing, I would drop it.
You know what bothers me too? When you get those little cards on the side of your bed and it's like, we won't change your sheets if you put this on your bed. And it's like, I hope that you change my sheets again before I even sleep in it. Like,
Yeah, I want my sheets changed like 15 times a day. You never
Yeah.
know what can get up in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where I've been, but you don't.
Right. Exactly.
I have the
I don't
worst
even know where
luck.
I've been.
Nope. I can only remember the last 45 minutes.
I have the worst luck with hotels. I always find something pretty gross in it. I remember I was staying in the Ritz-Carlton in Boston, and I literally started unpacking and stuff and look over to the floor, and there was a Band-Aid. It was clean, but it was a used Band-Aid. There was like no blood or anything on it. And I was like, oh man, that's gross. So I like grabbed some paper towels and I like picked it up and threw it out. And then the next day I was like, I never take baths unless I'm in a hotel and it's a nice bathtub. I'm like, this is where I'm going to fucking treat myself. And I'm laying in the bathtub and I like look over to my left, and whoever must have taken a bath before me must have been chewing gum and decided they didn't want to fucking fall asleep with it in their mouth. And they just left a wad of it next to the faucet. And I was like, oh. So then I started picking at it. And I was like, this is so gross.
No,
Wait,
that's
why
a.
did you start picking
Chewing
at it?
Huh?
Why'd you start
I
picking
wanted
at
to
it?
pull it off because it's kind of like you just see it there and you're like, it was so hard, you know. It's like I'm trying to pull it off.
Same reason that guy with Ebola went bowling, because he's an asshole.
I feel
Fucking
like
asshole.
you could tag that onto the end of like any question.
Yeah,
And it's like fucking excellent. If anyone asks you any question, and that's
the same reason the guy with Ebola went bowling. He's a fucking asshole with lots of hubris.
that's awesome.
Speaking of hubris, where do you guys stand on bringing food and drinks into the bathroom with you?
I shit with coffee.
Yeah, I wonder about these things sometimes, because the kitchen of my house is on the first floor, my bedroom is on the third floor, and the bathroom is on the second floor. So sometimes, just to be efficient, I will bring my snack into the bathroom with me on my way up to eat it in my bed while I'm watching a Swedish crime drama. I worry about the hygiene of that process, because I mean, if you think about it, all bathrooms are just kind of like poop cyclones. I said the phrase diarrhea cyclone in the stand-up comedy routine last night, and it went over really well.
I like that.
Went over really well.
So I am not that worried about. And like, if I were sitting in the stall like with Byram while he was shitting, I would be more concerned about like eating my churro, like with his diarrhea cyclone. like spiraling. But like my own like aerosolized poo particles like bother me a lot less.
I don't know. I think your own poop particles are just as bad as anyone else's, but I really feel like the QVC should put out a line of like poop covers for your food.
I mean, typically
feeling
my
frustrated
philosophy-
by bringing your macaroni and cheese into the bathroom on your way up to your bedroom? Here's a poop cover.
typically my philosophy is that like eating and shitting are two things that I love to do. So I don't want to combine them because then I spend less of my life doing the things that I love.
That's true, and they are two sides of the same coin, really.
Right.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're eating. Like if it's a finger food, I think it's fine. But if you're going up there with like a plate and you need utensils, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like if you're bringing a burrata to the bathroom with you, that's where I draw the line.
If you're carrying a burrata around in your fanny pack.
What's a burrata?
I think any kind of wet food you can't
Yeah.
bring to the bathroom.
All right. A burrata is like a mozzarella cheese with a molten core.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
really good.
It's like
It's really
mozzarella
delicious.
lava cake.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you guys are properly caffeinated this morning. I felt like
dude.
we weren't punching at the level we needed to last week. and I
Yeah,
think
I've
we're
decided
right
I'm
now.
going to start drinking coffee before the pod every week. Unless we do it at 0 Dark 30 again, and then you'll just have to take me as I am.
Okay, but I feel
Because
like you're
there's-
so delusional from lack of sleep that
Yeah,
ratchets up the comedy.
That's funny. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I apologize for last week's podcast. I listened
too.
to it and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Me too.
This show was like an after-school special.
It was
Also,
still
there was
pretty
like a
good though. Better than a lot of podcasts. Our pod's not half bad.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it is not half bad.
I know, but I couldn't hear anything besides me playing the fucking violin. And then
Sometimes
I was,
8 a.m. is depressing.
oh my god.
Sometimes 8
Can we
a.m.
just delete that podcast?
No.
No.
I want nothing to do with
For
it.
good or ill, they all go down in the books.
I'd rather listen to our first podcast on loop
Oh
than
Jesus.
that podcast.
That's impossible because my computer shut down 15 times during the course. It's like remixed.
Do you guys have picks of the week?
Yeah,
I got one. We might even use this. No, we're not going to use this. Such a fucking balderdash. Trello. So
we used to use that at Turning Art.
yeah, it's like a nice little simple web app that you use to kind of make like task cards, and you
Yeah.
just move them to different lists, and it's like super configurable. It's not like overly complicated, but like it's a good just sort of tasking and organization app, you know.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's like I used to have like 3x5 index cards, and I would just write shit on them and like put them all over the place, and like it's almost feels like that.
The thing about note cards is that I always spill my coffee on them.
Mm,
Anything paper, I immediately spill coffee on it.
that's true.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
single time.
That's
Is
true.
Trello free?
Yep.
All right, then
Yeah.
I'll download it, and it'll be another thing that I download and never use because I don't know how to use it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can sign up on the web. There's like a web interface. They have apps too, obviously. But it's good. It's handy. I use it for a project at work, and I've gotten to like it, and I think I'm gonna use it for more stuff.
Liz, did you stick with Evernote? Or are you still using it?
Yeah, I use it. I use only its like most basic functionality. I really just like I use just the notes, and then I like that you can like divide it all out. So I have like jokes notes, and then I have like yoga notes, and then I have like wine and beer notes, and then I have like that's it. That's all I have. But yeah, I mean, I think there's like other ways I could like share shit and stuff, but I don't use it. But I like it because it's green.
Well,
See, that's the thing. I downloaded Evernote and I don't really use it, and I've been meaning to download Trello, especially since I'm now accountable for other people's work. And then I'm like, I'll probably like start it and then never add to it, so I'm not gonna download it. But I will download it.
That mentality prevents me from doing a lot of things, and I kind of want to change my thought process on it. A lot of times I won't do something because I like don't believe that I will be consistent at it. But like, how do you fucking know that if you never even try and start doing it?
So I think the strategy to adopt here is like, so something like Trello is a tool, and you know I don't know if you want to go into it going, oh, I like that tool, let me get the tool and then find something to use it on.
Right.
More like, what do I want to accomplish and what tools are available? And like, if what do you want to accomplish is like accountability in like a small team, like where you want to assign tasks and keep track of the progress and have something to look at when you're having like a a little meeting, then it's a great tool because you can assign cards to people and then you just go through them and say, where are we on this, where are we on that, where are we on this, and it's just great, like simple organizational tool for like the small teams.
Yeah, I just think about how shitty I am at journaling. I remember when I was a kid, you used to have to journal in school, and the teacher would check at the end of each day to see what you wrote and kind of like leave comments on it. And I think I have PTSD from that because I always felt like I was writing for an audience and not actually because I like for the purpose of journaling, which was like self-reflection. I was always like, this bitch is gonna check this. Right. So when I do stuff, like if I need to use Evernote, I always feel like I'm creating something for someone else to look at, and then I feel pressure. I'm not a good note taker.
Well, if you ever need to go back and do if your boss ever checks your journal, all you need to do is write all the entries with a different pen, and then it will seem like you did them all on different days.
Ooh, that is evil genius.
I know. That was always my go-to. Or like if it was like an electronic, use different fonts, and then it will seem like
mix it a little Comic Sans.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, that was obviously a Wednesday. It couldn't possibly have been my Friday entry. I would never use Comic Sans on a Friday.
Right. I'm all sans serif on Friday.
Yeah.
Lucida handwriting.
Right.
Do you guys? Brings me to my point. Does your handwriting change? Because my handwriting never looks the same, ever.
Yeah, it depends on how drunk I am.
I don't even know what my handwriting looks like. It's fucking terrible. I try not to
tell you that right now. It's been disgusting since you were a child.
It's terrible.
Liz, you have nice handwriting though.
It depends. Yeah, I do. No, I've really exemplary handwriting. I used to get really great marks in penmanship.
Some people have handwriting that's bad in like an artistic way. Mine's bad in like an offensive, like idiotic way.
It's bad like I'm stroking out bad. It's bad like I'm currently having a stroke bad.
It just looks like someone who has like not only like poor penmanship but like bad taste.
Yeah, potentially poor motor skills.
Potentially Stephen Hawking.
And ugly feet. Your handwriting definitely looks like you have ugly feet.
Yeah, I really hope. I'm starting to see a lot more and more of my wife and my daughter, and that pleases me.
Thank God.
Oh, I'm just like so worried that she's gonna need glasses. That she's gonna have my eyes, and she's gonna have like big Coke bottle glasses when she's like in elementary school.
Oh, you can get her LASIK now. LASIK wasn't around when we were kids.
That's true.
They're gonna have like DIY LASIK now. Like bring it home. Amy will do it.
Yeah, totally.
My pick of the week, and I think I'm probably pulling the rug out from under Byram on this one because we've been discussing this all week, is the Beyonce song EXO. That's it.
Never.
That's my pick.
You're never pulling the rug out of me.
Yeah, that's the best song in the entire world. I really celebrate her entire collection. I'm sort of ambivalent as to whether or not she should have won the Grammy. I sort of stand with Kanye on that and many things, but I think Beck is also a genius, so I don't really know, but I do love Beyonce. I mean,
if there's Kanye's one thing, he's a sensible man of the people.
Yes, exactly. And what he does is he really weighs all the facts, and he comes up with a measured opinion.
Selfless.
It's exactly what I do as well. Yeah, so,
right.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that debate, too, though, because Beck won because, for several reasons.
Because he's white.
Well, yeah, but then also when you actually look at what goes into creating one of his albums and how involved he is in it. He writes all the lyrics, he plays all the instruments on every track and stuff. But at the end of the day, there's no way it sold as many copies as anything Beyonce did. So it's just, what are they basing it on,
Yeah, I don't even know.
If they based it purely on EXO, then she would have won fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
And it retroactively would have won every single other Grammy.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're taking those.
Beat out Obama. She would have been the first black president. What do you guys think of Hillary using personal email during her time as Secretary of State?
I mean,
I don't understand that. Why is that bad?
It's not, but it's just fucking I can't imagine being like, you know what? We're all fine here. I'm gonna just use my Earthlink email address. Thanks for the .gov offering, but I'm really attached to this Hillbill at
Hillbill69 at arkansas.edu.
I mean, I just don't I don't get what the problem is. Like, doesn't everyone use their personal email address sometimes? Does she use it for does she email the president of Pakistan from like.
Yeah, like she used it in lieu of an official email address.
Yeah, she was like hillbill69 at arkansas.edu to Benji Netanyahu 2002.
To BB for you to desire at AOL.
Do we think that this is like nefarious or just like an old lady who doesn't?
It's an old lady. It's the same reason why AOL's still in business. They get business for people who just still subscribe to their email services and pay for them.
Yeah.
It's just she had it and she still uses a BlackBerry and that's what it is. But they tried blowing up in something bigger.
She wears sunglasses while she's looking at her BlackBerry because
Does she even know what email address she's sending things from?
Probably not.
Like, I'm not sure my mom knows what email address she's sending
Dude,
things
if
from.
I were Hillary Clinton, I would be very exasperated by this whole thing because it's fucking annoying.
Well, right. I think you kind of learn to tune it out because it's like it's just politics. Like whatever we can do to try to.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch The Good Wife?
No.
Oh, you really should.
I only watched the Swedish version of The Bridge.
So
Yeah.
I don't
It's a hilarious to watch a bunch of Swedish chefs sitting around talking
Oh,
about
jeez.
It's
I don't watch The Good Wife, but actually I had an embarrassing moment on Saturday. So my cousin moved into this building in Murray Hill, and he was saying that there's some celebrities who live in there. One of them is Alessandra Ambrosio, who's a Victoria's Secret model. And then he goes, and then this actress, Archie Punjabi. I was like, oh, from The Good Wife. And he goes, yeah, you watch that show? And I was like, no, I really don't. But I just happen to know her name because her name is Archie. So Archie Punjabi. And then he didn't believe me. I was trying to like back out of it. I was like, I swear to God, I've never seen the A episode.
Is that
You're
Kalinda?
like, she's the evil one, right? She's complicated.
Oh, don't you watch it? How do you not know who
I
she
don't
is?
know who the names of.
Is there more than one Indian woman on the show?
No.
Yeah, no, that's her.
Yeah.
Archie Punjabi.
She's like the investigator.
Yeah, dude, she's a thug.
Yeah, she's a straight thug.
Do you know what my pick of the week is, and I haven't watched it yet, is that show Empire.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's
I actually
talking
really
about
want to get into that, too. It looks good.
It looks like it's horrible, but it looks like it's just something that you have to watch
Yeah,
because everyone else is talking about it.
yeah.
That is the last show. Oak would rather watch Channel 3 with fucking snow falling. Than,
Oak would rather watch Channel 3 over most things, I think.
Oak would rather tune into the Yule log in March.
Hey, I like the Yule log.
Oak loves the
It's exciting. Sometimes if you really pay close attention, you can see where it loops. That's how you win the Yule log.
You're right. That's the
You watch it for like 5 hours to get the like pattern, but
Computers.
It's almost April, which means it's almost Christmas, which means it's almost time for Yule log again.
I can't wait. I can't
Fucking
wait.
time is flying.
Totally. Speaking of Yule logs, I have to poop.
and I soon am going to have to get our daughter up from her nap. Oh, she's moving.
No! Let's see. Is she doing her pike kick?
She's turned to the side. She's got one foot in the air.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell her I said hi.
I certainly will.
I miss her.
She'll be excited to know there's more pod going on. She'll be on the pod
Yeah.
soon. I'm sure she's like not gonna finish her nap during one of our pods. I'll have to bring her on.
Let's see.
All right, kids.
All right, I love you guys.
Been real.
Love you guys.
Peace.
See you
Thanks.
soon. Peace.
Peace.